So first of all, I'd like to introduce about the novel that I've read, which is The Witch Tower by Tamara Grantham. So the story begins with Gothel, the witch, and also the caretaker of Rapunzel going out trying to sell her herbs to earn money to feed herself and Rapunzel, because Rapunzel is stuck on a tower. So while she was on her way to sell her herbs, two men approached her. One is Prince Marak, and the second is his right hand and best friend Raj. Those two asked her about the tower and if she could help them. After arguing, after conversating, she decided to help and told them about the way there and how to meet Rapunzel, and that is just to call Rapunzel and to ask her to let her hair down, and that the person who should be there or should climb the tower must be a prince, and that prince must be a pure-hearted prince. So anyways, after telling them that, they went to the tower while she went to sell her herbs. But after a few hours, Raj approached her again and said that the prince is unconscious. She told them that it was dangerous, and that it could hurt someone. But they refused to listen to her and went there, which she refused to be in any responsibility of it. But Raj was very, very eager. He tried to talk to her to help him, and after conversation, after talking, she decided to help, and she told them that there might actually be a possible way to save him, which is using a magical scissor that can cut Rapunzel's hair and awaken the prince. And that scissor is actually at the snowland, which belongs, or the place where two of her aunt lives, and that those two of her aunts is actually very powerful and dangerous and unfriendly. They would give her something if she was able to give them something as comparable, as equal to what they were going to give to her. So they had to go to the village where the magical fruit is growing. So here is where the flashback begins. Both Gothel's mother and Rapunzel's father are actually good friends, but one day Rapunzel's father betrayed Gothel's mother. He stole her magical fruits and ate them. He became very powerful, killing many innocents and being obsessed with war, which caused Gothel's mother to be upset, cursing him, making Rapunzel being stuck on a tower and staying there for the rest of her life, which made Verloc very angry, killing her and making Gothel Rapunzel's caretaker. So back to the present, they returned back to the tower, told Rapunzel about their mission, about what they are about to do, and after Rapunzel agreeing to it, Gothel gave Rapunzel a portion that make her asleep until Gothel returns back. So after that, they both left the tower. They first had to pass to a forest, and in that forest, they met a wolf who turns out to be a dwarf, turning into a wolf cursed because he was cursed by a witch. And for as long as he does not remember his own name, he would not return back to be a dwarf. So anyways, after passing the forest and facing Verloc's men, they reached to the village, and there they had to steal the fruits facing the living plants, because the plants were given a job as to kill anyone who tries to steal the fruit. But after stealing the fruit, they hid in a certain place. There they met another companion other than the dwarf. So that companion was able to help them by using his flute and controlling the plants for a while. So after escaping the plants, those four people, the dwarf, the fluid man, Raj, and Gothel, went to the desert. In that desert, where monster lay on the desert or hide under the sands, past them is actually a village, an old big village that was actually a kingdom but was destroyed by Verloc. That village is actually Raj's hometown. So after passing the desert, they stayed there for a few days, and after a few days, Gothel actually found out that Raj is actually a prince and that his father had passed away and that he is supposed to replace his father. This is also when things are starting to get complicated because it turns out that both Raj and Gothel actually loved each other. But they had to put everything aside first to complete the mission first, which is why after staying a few days at the Outlander, they went to the Snowland to meet their aunt. But their aunt actually betrayed them and sent them to the dungeon. And over there, Gothel met her mother's soul. And her mother's soul gave her the Caesar to save herself. And here, they also met their third companion, who's a dragon in a form of a human. While they were trying to escape, it turns out that Gothel's mother was friends with her two sisters, who is Gothel's aunt, and that they were actually planning this. They were actually watching over their prisoners. So after talking a few things, and it turns out that their aunt actually wanted Gothel to kill Verloc because they feared that Verloc might actually attack this place, attack the Snowland. So after leaving the dungeon and returning back to the tower, which turns out to be in a war because Verloc and Prince Mark's people were fighting near the tower as the prince people were trying to save him, while Verloc was upset and he was not willing to let Rapunzel alive or free, because if she was free, then he had to die. So anyways, Gothel reached to the tower. She cut off Rapunzel's hair, and Prince Mark was awakened back. And Verloc, here's where the big story or the highlight of the story is that this is when everyone discovered, or when everyone found out, that Gothel is actually Rapunzel's sister and is also Verloc's daughter with Gothel's mother. So anyways, Gothel, after arguing and Verloc trying to kill Gothel decided that she had to kill him, and she killed him, ending the story with Rapunzel marrying Prince Marak, and Raj returning to Outlander after asking Gothel to be his queen. The end.